Hello, good afternoon, my dear students. Welcome to one more amazing session from Infinity Land. This is Suresh, Faculty of Chemistry. बच्चों लोग कैसे हैं आप लोग? Can you all see me? You can hear me? Right. Very good. So, Rehanuddin, good afternoon. So, today we are going to discuss about the biomolecules over here. In these biomolecules, we have various topics like carbohydrates and proteins, amino acids and vitamins and hormones and many things. And this from the biomolecules topic, you are going to expect one question from this NEET examination. So 4 marks, get ready. Today we are going to discuss most of the things about the carbohydrate chemistry, sugars and amino acids and their pKa values and pi values we are going to see. Hi, Sarita Kumari, good afternoon. And before going for the session, I just want to introduce you 4 students here, Ashrita, Akil Verma, Hema, Jyoti and Satyanarayan. For the sake of motivation, you just compare the score between 2023 NEET and 2024 NEET. Ashrita got 310 marks and in 661 marks in 2024. How it is possible? 351 score is increased. Of course, they followed Infinity Lane academic program. So, Infinity Lane academic program and the faculties from the Infinity Lane got that guidelines, and the students followed these guidelines and they scored almost more than a double. Himajyuti also got 310 marks in 2023 and they got 652 marks in 2024. 342 marks in Kabadiya. And you can see Akhil Verma 313 marks in 2023 and 658 marks in 2024. Wow. And 330 marks Satyanarayan and 2023 and 650 marks in 2024. There is a 320 marks. You can compare the scores. The score is almost doubled. This doubling is due to the guidelines, they followed the guidelines from the Infinity Lane. So, not only these 4, but also hundreds of students got like this. Sarita Kumari, you can just see, you can be the next for this 2025 slide because you are all following it. And what I say, crack your NEET examination, reserve your medical seat in a premium medical colleges. For that, please attend our lectures on a regular basis. We are coming what? One topic in a particular session, and we are covering all the kinds of the topics and how NEET examination questions may come in from there. Once we do that, please attend the lectures and like the sessions, share with your friends, subscribe to Infinity Lane NEET channel. And I just want to say Infinity Lane is on. We have Infinity Lane Meta app where you are going to see live classes, mock tests and create your own test. And whenever you are preparing something, if you have some doubt in a particular topic, you can create your own test or an assignment based on that particular subtopic. And also 24/7 doubt resolutions. Many more are there, and Infinity Lane is there on social media. Right now you are on YouTube platform. In this you are going to get many things, especially for the Telegram channel. You all join, you will give best and you do the best. God bless you and all the best. And especially for Telegram channel, in the description box the link is available and you can just click that link and you are going to have daily quizzes and session schedules and session notes and session assignments and many more are available. And also India's first AI designed academic program. आजकल आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस का हलचल ज़्यादा चल रहा है कि ना? सो इन्फिनिटी लेन पहले बार यह अडॉप्ट किया एकेडमिक्स में. उसमें क्या क्या चीज़ है? गोल सेटिंग, सेट योर एकेडमिक स्किल एनहांसमेंट्स गोल्स. And you will be having an awesome lectures from the awesome faculty from the Infinity Lane and test and paper analysis with an in-depth performance analysis by AI, and also self-study learn and revise and practice. For that, conceptual videos are there, mock and practice tests are there, and flashcards for revision are all available. So flashcards बहुत important है, preparation अच्छा करना है के लिए. And doubt resolution powered by AI, उसमें any doubt कभी भी कहीं भी, your doubt answer is going to be one click away, है कि ना? And QR code is there, you just scan the QR code and you just enjoy all the facilities. और एक चीज है, India's largest scholarship exam, score examination. Why this is India's largest scholarship exam? A scholarship worth of 1 crore rupees is available, and study setup on laptop and educational allowances and up to 100% scholarship. Shri Ram, hi. And link is there in the description box. भर दो registration form के लिए, and you can enjoy this all the facilities. All the best for your score examination. The score examination is purely online, and you can sit at your home and you can write this examination. And you may be related to Infinity Land or maybe studying in some other institute or college, still you are eligible to write. All the best, and the link डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में दिया हुआ, एक बार क्लिक करो, आगे बढ़ो. एंड और एक चीज है, लास्ट बट नॉट लिस्ट, आफ्टर दिस वी आर गोइंग टू स्टार्ट द क्लास. लास्ट स्लाइड फॉर दिस नीट 2025 ऑल इंडिया टेस्ट सीरीज एंड दिस टेस्ट सीरीज पैक. उसमें क्या क्या चीज मिलेगा आपको? 27 AITS टेस्ट, उसमें 13 यूनिट टेस्ट, 4 पार्ट टेस्ट एंड 10 ग्रैंड टेस्ट बेस्ड ऑन नीट पैटर्न, एंड 20 ऑनलाइन नीट फुल सिलेबस मॉक टेस्ट भी अवेलेबल है. 25 नीट टॉपिक वाइज प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस एंड 3 फिजिक्स केमिस्ट्री बुक्स विथ वीडियो सॉल्यूशंस ऑन द ऐप. एंड श्रीराम डिटेल सॉल्यूशन, हर टेस्ट का डिटेल सॉल्यूशन आपको मिलेगा. परफॉर्मेंस रिपोर्ट्स भी देना है. आपका जो परफॉर्मेंस है, बेंचमार्किंग विद श्री चैतन्य स्टूडेंट्स भी हैं. दैट इज बहुत बढ़िया बात है. सो पैकेज था 5999. If you apply coupon code U250 off, that is given flash 50% off, and तभी आपको मिलेगा 2999. Who is going to give? इतना सस्ता के कौन देगा? Infinity Land दे सकते हैं. You all utilize this facility. All the best. God bless you. Right? And let us start the biomolecule. Get ready. A thumbs up and fire emoji in the class so that we can start. Shri Ram, Sarita Kumari, excellent. Raihanuddin, chalo. So, biomolecules. We have chemical reactions. Reactant gives rise to the products. Even in the biological system, maybe animal or a plant or a human, whatever, is a collection of millions of biochemical reactions, and these biochemical reactions are mediated by those molecules called biomolecules. And biomolecules पहले जो आते हैं आपका carbohydrates, second one amino acids, third one proteins, nucleic acids, vitamins and hormones. अरे hormones भी आपको include किया. You just check the NEET syllabus, कल दिया ना सिलेबस को, और कुछ आपका इंट्रोडक्शन देना है क्या? ओके, लेट्स स्टार्ट. टुडेस टॉपिक ऑफ इंटरेस्ट इज गोइंग टू बी कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स एंड अमीनो एसिड. तैयार है? एक थम्स अप एंड फायर इमोजी बच्चों लोग. एंड लेट्स टॉक अबाउट द कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स. श्रीराम, carbohydrates are principally, they are sugars, they are optically active polyhydroxy aldehydes and ketones, and their derivatives are called carbohydrates. They are said to be sugars and non-sugars. Those who are sweet in taste are called sugars, those who are not sweet in taste are not sweet are called non-sugars. Let us go into the details. Carbohydrates are generally regarded as hydrated form of carbon. That's the reason why when glucose is treated with or sucrose is treated with constant H2SO4, the carbon is going to be coming out by the loss of water molecule MSR, right? And the carbohydrates, they are classified into monosaccharides, oligosaccharides, polysaccharides. Mono means only one sugar, उसमें only one sugar रहता है. If a sugar which on hydrolysis do not give the simplest sugar molecule further are called mono sugars, उसमें यह simplest sugar है. And oligosaccharides, oligo means a few, oligo means a few. The sugar which on hydrolysis gives 2 to 10 molecules of simple sugars are called oligosaccharides. And polysaccharides, poly means many. The sugar which on hydrolysis gives rise many sugar units are called polysaccharides. And the monosaccharides, you can see glucose, galactose, ribose and deoxyribose and these are the simple famous sugars, monosaccharides. And for the example, oligosaccharides, sucrose consists of glucose and fructose, lactose, glucose and galactose, maltose, glucose and glucose, like that. And you can also see complex and they are abundant in nature, starch, glycogen and the cellulose are the sugars. You can see cellulose is the most abundant sugar or polysaccharide in the nature. Cellulose, it is found in plants. MSR, right? Okay, Sarita Kumari Sriram, come on, let us talk about classification of carbohydrates on the basis of physical characteristics. Sugar, they are sweet and soluble and crystalline, and non-sugar, they are amorphous, tasteless and insoluble substance, right? Sugars and non-sugar on the basis of physical characters and also on the basis of hydrolysis. So on the basis of hydrolysis, they are classified into monosaccharides, oligosaccharides and polysaccharides. Rasbul Christie, good afternoon. And also on the basis of monosaccharides, the carbohydrates that can be hydrolyzed only once to break down into simple units are polyhydroxyaldehydes or the ketones, and their derivatives are called monosaccharides. And in this monosaccharides, you can see 3 carbon containing sugars are called trioses. 4 carbon containing sugars are called tetroses. Ose means sugar. Tri, C3, tetra, C4, pentose, C5 and hexose, C6, like that. Ose means sugar. And also you can see Fischer projection formulas of aldehyde containing sugars are called aldoses. Glyceraldehyde, there is a chiral center. So one more carbon you add, erythrose and triose, 2 OH are there in the same side is called erythroisomer. For the sugar it is called erythrose. Yes, Christy. Okay. And opposite groups, that is said to be triose. So in the Fischer projection formula, erythrose and triose, these two are diastereomers, bacho. And ribose C5, ribose, arabinose, xylose, lexose. And C6, aldohexoses, allose, maltose, glucose, ammanose, gulose, iodose, galactose and talose. उसमें आपका सिर्फ इससे काम ज़्यादा आता है, ग्लूकोज. We'll discuss more about glucose. Risible chisti. Yeah. And also you can see ketosis. Ketone containing sugars are called ketoses. And first ketose contain 4 carbons because this is optically active. Dihydroxyacetone is not a sugar because this is optically inactive. This is optically inactive. So this is not a sugar. To say a sugar, it should be optically active, risible, right? Good afternoon. Again you can see erythrose becomes ribulose and xylulose and gives psychose, fructose, इससे काम ज़्यादा आता है. And sorbose and tegalose. And हर स्ट्रक्चर हम याद रखना पड़ता है बेटा? बिल्कुल नहीं, सिर्फ ग्लूकोज एंड फ्रक्टोज का स्ट्रक्चर याद रखो, काम आ जाएगा. Hope you understand. Resible. So आगे बढ़ता है carbohydrates में. So oligosaccharides, sugars that on hydrolysis produce 2 or more molecules of monosaccharides are called oligosaccharides. Oligo means a few. Okay. So उसमें disaccharide है. 2 sugars आपका हाइड्रोलिसिस में मिलेगा, चीनी का जैसे सुक्रोज ऑन हाइड्रोलिसिस गिव्स राइज ग्लूकोज एंड फ्रक्टोज, एंड उसमें सुक्रोज ऑन हाइड्रोलिसिस ग्लूकोज एंड फ्रक्टोज, maltose on hydrolysis glucose, lactose on hydrolysis glucose and galactose. And let's talk about trisaccharides. 3 sugars they are going to give is an example of raffinose. Raffinose on hydrolysis gives rise to glucose, galactose and fructose. The raffinose name is there in the NCERT, and these 3 names you just memorize it. NEET examination में आपको काम आ जाएगा. And also polysaccharides, the hydrolysis of the sugar gives rise more than many sugar moieties, like starch is an example, okay, glucose is an example. Crystal clear. Let's talk about on the basis of the test with reagents, reducing sugar and non-reducing sugar. GGF, nice trick, GGF. Okay, so the sugars which react with Tollens reagent or Fehling's reagent or Benedict reagent are called reducing sugars, and these are examples: maltose, lactose, maldibiose, gintibiose, many things. And non-reducing sugar, and they don't have free aldehyde or a ketonic group, they have free aldehyde or a ketonic group and free internal हेमी एसिटाल लिंक. एक जो ट्रिक है आपको देना चाहता हूं, ट्रिक. सो दिस इज द स्ट्रक्चरल रिक्वायरमेंट. इट इज अ रिड्यूसिंग शुगर. It is a reducing sugar, and just see a sugar which has this kind of thing. Okay, it is a non-reducing sugar. It is a non-reducing sugar. Are you getting or not? Clear? Perfect. Now classification of aldoses: glyceraldehyde pair of 2 epimers as well as enantiomers. And epimers, the pair of epimers are essentially diastereomers, contain multiple chiral centers. They are absolutely separate from each other by configuration at only one chiral centers. They are called as epimer other than carbon atom number 1. Okay, if they are at carbon atom number 1, they are called as anomers. And these two are said to be same, but एक कहाँ से फर्क पड़ता है? कार्बन 2 से फर्क पड़ रहा है. Remaining structure is going to be C, so they are called C2 epimers. Got it? And also anomers, the cyclic monosaccharides differ their stereochemistry at anomeric carbon, mean to say aldehyde or ketonic carbon is called as anomers. Alpha D glucose and beta D glucose are said to be anomers. So अगर OH ग्रुप डाउनवर्ड है अल्फा बोलो, अगर OH ग्रुप अपवर्ड है that is a beta बोलो. That is the difference between लोकेश अल्फा डी ग्लूकोज and beta D glucose. समझे? Perfect. And representation of structure of glucose and fructose. Open chain structure ऐसे आता है. एक glucose carbonate number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is open chain structure. Fructose को भी ऐसे है. Right? If you talk about this glucose ring structure, and what is this D symbol? D symbol क्या बोलना चाहता हूँ? D glucose represents OH group on this last but one carbon atom in the right side. If it is on the left side, that is said to be L glucose. And cyclic structure of glucose, I just want to mention here cyclic structure of glucose. This is your C double bond O and H. CH2OH. OH and OH and OH and OH. So C5 is going to form an internal hemiacetal linkage. So therefore it is going to give its structure like this. You can see इंटरनल हेमीएस्टर लिंक का हिसाब से आपका जो स्ट्रक्चर ऐसे बनना के कोशिश करता हूँ. So there is an internal hemiacetal linkage. Now we can see OH is here, OH is here, and बाकी जो वैलेंस है ना हाइड्रोजन ही होता है. So I don't want to mention that also. Okay, like this. Now if you see this structure, बच्चों, carefully you see, first carbon, second carbon, third carbon, fourth carbon, fifth carbon, and इसका sixth carbon. Okay, stay tuned, bachcho. You just be active. Any doubts in the class, you may ask in the chat box. So it is going to give you, there are 6 atoms including oxygen. Now whatever the group, OH group present on the right side, make it downward. So that you are going to have the structure like this. You are going to have the structure like this. You are going to have the structure like this. And you are going to have the structure like this. And you are going to have the structure like this. Okay? So if you check this number, carbon atom number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So this is a cyclic structure of glucose. The cyclic structure of glucose is said to be alpha D glucopyranose. Alpha D glucopyranose. समझ में आ रही क्या? क्लियर? अगर कुछ डाउट है ना तो से ओपन चेन स्ट्रक्चर से आपका रिंग कैसा बना हुआ, इंटरनल हेमीएसिटल लिंकेज, जहां पर ऑक्सीजन कार्बोनिल कार्बन से रिएक्ट होता है, हेमीएसिटल फॉर्म होगा. हाँ, एग्जैक्टली रजबुल, करेक्ट. एनी डाउट उसमें आप पूछ सकते हैं. एनी डाउट? So let's talk about this reactions of glucose. बहुत important, बढ़िया बात है उसका. So carbohydrates, polyhydroxy classification based on monosaccharide, oligosaccharide, polysaccharide, reducing sugar हम किया. D&L configuration, no doubts. Thank you very much. So these are all the things we did it, and epimers also we discussed. So have more than one stereo center but differ at only one stereo carbon, and उसमें other than carbon 1 होगा. And anomers, अगर डिफरेंस कार्बन एटम 1 स्पेसिफिकली आने तो एनोमर बोलो. Thank you very much. Thank you. And also mutarotation. What is this mutarotation? Change in the optical rotation is called mutarotation. I am going to show you that slide as well. And all monosaccharides show mutarotation. Okay. And beta D glucose and alpha D glucose, उसमें beta D glucose is more stable. Okay. And also in solution beta D glucose, alpha D glucose both is in equilibrium. इसी के कारण आपका म्यूटा रोटेशन देखता. Okay. And fructose being a polyhydroxy ketone still give positive test for tolerance, Benedict's, Fehling's, and thus is a reducing sugar. ये बहुत बड़ी important point है. Because the ketone is oxidized and hemiacetal link is broken. That's the reason why fructose is a reducing sugar. NEET में क्वेश्चन पूछने का संभावना है. ओके, तैयार रखो. And also preparation of glucose. We know that glucose can be prepared from sugar cane, hydrolysis, and industry. Starch can be hydrolyzed. Many things are there, right? It's a simple one. Chemical reactions of carbohydrates बहुत बहुत important चीज़ है. Okay, right. Chemical reactions of carbohydrates. So in this chemical reactions, glucose has one aldehyde group, one primary alkyl group niche, and all are secondary hydroxy groups, and acetylation of glucose. When you talk about the glucose on treatment with acetic anhydride, you are going to get ग्लूकोज पेंटाएसिटेट. आपका जो स्ट्रक्चर है ऐसे दिया, ऐसे लिखने का कोशिश करता हूँ. CHO, OH, OH, OH and OH and CH2OH. When you treat with CH3, COO, acetic anhydride, you are going to get glucose pentacetate, glucose pentacetate. This is glucose pentacetate. So the same reaction I just want to write. Glucose reacts with hydroxylamine. So this is a glucose. I just want to write the reaction in the vertical format. This is your glucose. OH, OH and OH and OH. बच्चों लोग हम में ये जो reactions दे रहे हो ना, this is very important. NCERT connected express studies we are doing now. When it is treated with hydroxylamine, NH2OH. Okay, so that NH2OH, you can write that other side also. So aldehyde group is going to be reacted with these two hydrogens. So it gives you CH double bond NOH and OH and OH, OH and OH and CH2OH. This is what you say glucose monoxime or glucose oxime. Glucose monoxime or glucose oxime. If it is treated with HCN, nucleophilic addition reaction is taking place, so that you are going to see the formation of CN and H and OH and the rest of this. Glucose cyanohydrin is formed. Glucose cyanohydrin is formed. This is your glucose cyanohydrin. Kiliani synthesis में 6 carbon glucose is converted into 7 carbon glucose. So this reaction is used to increase the number of carbon atoms. That is called Kiliani synthesis or Kiliani-Fischer synthesis. Okay. And ammonical silver nitrate solution, glucose is reacted with Ag2O, silver nitrate ammonical Tollens reagent. It is going to give the gluconic acid and the silver metal is going to be precipitated. So glucose gives Tollens, positive Tollens test is very important. It's very important. Okay. And also glucose oxidation reaction with a strong oxidizing agent like nitric acid is used. You are going to get glucaric acid. So both are oxidized, both aldehyde as well as the primary alcohol is oxidized. Whereas, yes, yeah, that is a silver metal is precipitated, right? If it is treated with bromine water, it's a mild oxidizing agent. Because of this mild oxidizing agent, only one aldehyde group is oxidized. This is called gluconic acid or aldonic acid. This is a glucaric acid or glucosaccharic acid or aldaric acid. Possible? Any doubt? Yeah. The other students, Sriram and the other students, please continue with your doubts. So when the class is going on, I expect doubts from you, so that I am also feel so happy to solve your doubts. है ना? Right. Now, on prolonged heating with HI, glucose forms N-hexane. So glucose on treated with HI gives rise N-hexane, which means that all carbon atom are linearly linked. Okay, right. So glucosazone formation. Glucose is treated with phenyl hydrazine. Okay, glucose is treated with phenyl hydrazine. You are going to get phenyl hydrazone, and this phenyl hydrazone is going to react with 2 more moles of phenyl hydrazine to give rise glucosazone yellow crystalline compound. येलो क्रिस्टलाइन कॉम्पाउंड. ये ग्लूकोसाजोन फॉर्म करने का वक्त में 1 मोल 2 मोल टोटल 3 मोल्स ऑफ फिनाइल हाइड्रोजाइन, टोटल 3 मोल ऑफ फिनाइल हाइड्रोजन इस्तेमाल किया जाएगा. ओके, दैट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कन्वर्शन, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कन्वर्शन. एवरीबडी मेक ए नोट ऑफ इट. Everybody please make a note of it. Yes, 3 moles. Perfect. I am really enjoying to take the class with you guys. Next, glucose का reactions है. Glucose on oxidation, deoxy glucose, oxidation C6, gluconic acid or aldonic acid, and a reduction of anomeric carbon is going to give us sorbitol. You can use sodium borohydrate for this reaction, NaBH4, and also you can have replace with 1 phosphate, you are going to get glucose phosphate. You might have seen these reactions. Glucose 6 phosphate is the first reaction, I think, at glycolysis, remember? And oxidation at C1, you are going to get gluconic acid or aldonic acid. Oxidation, replacement OH with sulfate, glucose sulfate, okay, and also glucosamine. So these are all the glucosamines, glucose 6 phosphate, sorbitol, and this looks deoxyglucose or somehow we are related to the biochemical reactions as well. Talking about our chemistry glucose reactions, okay, glucose to glucaric acid, glucose to NaHexane, glucose to gluconic acid, glucose to cyanohydrin, glucose to glucose pentaacetate, and glucose to sorbitol, and these are all the reactions which we inculcate from the NCERT textbook. Lokesh, wonderful. And I just want to talk about the mutar rotation. Mutar rotation means change in optical activity. It is described as change in optical rotation due to the equilibrium between 2 anomeric structures. बच्चों, हर monosaccharide mutar rotation दे सकते हैं. Any monosaccharide can show mutar rotation. In that you can say alpha D glucose, which is actually taken and crystallized and dissolved in the water, okay, and it is having 112 degrees rotation, and it is changing. You observe through the polarimeter, the change in the optical rotation can be seen near about 55 degrees nearly. Or otherwise, beta D glucose you have taken in other experiment, it is shown that 18 degrees optical rotation, and its optical rotation is observed to change up to 55. So the change in optical activity is called as a mutar rotation. This mutar rotation happens due to existence of anomers which is in the equilibrium. You understand? Clear? Perfect. And some disaccharides, we have maltose. This maltose have 2 units of alpha D glucose, and it is a reducing sugar and alpha glycosidic between 1 carbon से 4 carbon तक आपको देखेगा. So D glucose of 1 carbon and 4 carbon, you are going to have alpha linkage, ether linkage. So this linkage that I am showing you here, it is glycosidic linkage. The linkage between 2 sugar molecules is called as a glycosidic linkage. And also sucrose, you have D glucose and D fructose, and you can see, and it is a non-reducing sugar, and the linkage is a glycosidic linkage between C1 to C2, okay, and beta D glycosidic linkage to fructose, both linked at C1 carbon atom, right? Glucose is sucrose is otherwise called as invert sugar, because on inversion, on hydrolysis, optical rotation is inverted. That is what you say, invert sugar. And the lactose, and it is a reducing sugar, it is consists of beta D glucose and beta D galactose, and you have beta 1,4 glycosidic linkage, beta linkage, alpha linkage ऐसे दिखते, beta linkage zigzag दिखते, mind it. And also starch. Starch is a polymer of alpha D glucose. Starch consists of two things. One is amylose and another one is amylopectin. Amylose का सिर्फ alpha 1,4 linkage है कार्बन एटम 1 के कार्बन एटम 4 के बीच में. And amylose, and talking about amylopectin, you are going to see जैसे amylose का है and amylose का है, and there is a link between carbon atom number 1 to carbon atom 6, that is called a branch, and the branch consists of alpha 1,6 linkages. Mind it, NEET में ऐसे क्वेश्चन आने का ज़्यादा संभावना है. Okay, visible, right? So it is an amylopectin, and glycogen is also called as animal starch. Glycogen is also called as an animal starch, and the structure of amylopectin and starch is glycogen is same. Yes, but उसमें क्या फर्क पड़ता है? ग्लाइकोजन है उसमें ब्रांचिंग और ज़्यादा रहते हैं amylopectin के साथ. Okay, so where glycogen is stored? It is stored in the liver, it is stored in the muscles. Okay, and the immediate source of glucose by the body is given by glycogen. Cellulose. Cellular exclusively occurs in plants. We don't digest cellulose. It is having a beta 1,4 glycosidic linkage. उसमें beta D glucose, the most abundant carbohydrate in the nature. And we can't digest cellulose. Do you know that? Because the cellulose digest करने के लिए enzyme cellulase is required. Humans don't have cellulase as an enzyme. And also carbohydrates, important type of carbohydrates. Everybody take glucose, fructose, sucrose, lactose, maltose, starch, glycogen and cellulose. And you study this, and उसमें units क्या क्या चीज़ है, उसमें linkage क्या क्या हो सकता है. Take a snapshot. Everybody, one single shot. 3, 2, 1. Click it. Rajbal, किया ना? Rajbal Chisti. Lokesh, hi. Yes, let's go talking about amino acids. The compounds which contain both amino group and carboxylic group are called amino acids. And amino acids are the constituent building blocks of proteins. Yeah, so proteins are the polymers of amino acids. And you see this amino group and carboxylic group and alkyl group. And R is a side chain. ये R का हिसाब से proteins में 20 different types of amino acids are seen. This is called alpha amino acid. And this alpha amino acid you have glycine, alanine, valine, leucine, isoleucine, arginine, lysine, glutamic acid, aspartic acid, glutamine. Depending upon this R group, these are the various kinds: glutamine, aspargine, threonine, serine, cysteine, methionine, phenylalanine, tyrosine, tryptophan, histidine and proline. सर उसमें क्वेश्चंस कैसा निकलेगा? उसमें एरोमेटिक अमीनो एसिड्स कौन कौन होगा? टायरोसिन, ट्रिप्टोफैन, फेनाइलएलानाइन. सल्फर कंटेनिंग अमीनो एसिड सिस्टीन, मिथियोनाइन, cysteine. Hydroxy containing amino acids, serine and proline are the hydroxy containing amino acid. Acidic amino acids, and kind of questions will be asked like this. You understand? These structures by heart करना है, कम से कम ये जान पकड़ना है. Okay, neutral amino acids. The first amino acid is glycine, optically inactive. Like that, you will be having a questions based on the NEET examination. And also essential amino acids. The amino acids which are prepared in the body are non-essential, and the amino acids which has to be supplied into the diet, they are not synthesized in the body, are called essential in the diet. They are called essential amino acids. Usme phenylalanine, valine, threonine, tryptophan and methionine and leucine, isoleucine, lysine, histidine, so many things. Okay, they are all connected to the growth, metabolism and hormonal regulations, many things. Understand? Histidine produces histamine for regulating the immune response and digestion and other functions. Like that, you can see there's biological significance also we need to study. Hegena, it's an awesome content. Hope you love it. Rachibul, hope you love it. Yes, thank you. And other students, any doubts? Let's talk about zwitterion. Amino acid, this is a neutral amino acid. When the amino acid in the acidic medium, okay, it love the basic group is going to be protonated, it exists as a cation. Lokesh, in the basic medium, it deprotonates to gives the carboxyl group is ionized, that is called anion. Yeah. Now there is an ion where both cation and anion exist. That ion is called dipolar ion or a zwitterion. Dipolar ion or a zwitterion. And that pH at which this dipolar ion exists is called as isoelectric point. Usme charge, overall charge is going to be 0, and the pH at which this is the pH is called Pi. And at this pH, this is overall is a neutral, and it do not migrate under the influence of electric field. So that influence of electric field में migrate करते हैं ना, ये process electrophoresis बोलते हैं. Okay, ये electrophoresis में static रहते हैं. हर amino acid का specific pH Pi value रहेगा. And this isoelectric point of amino acid is the pH at which it has no net charge. Isoelectric point is equal to pH at which there is no net charge. So the Pi of amino acid does not have any ionizable side chain. It all depends upon its side chain matters. Now if you can see that, how to calculate the Pi value. This is the glutamic acid. To calculate the Pi value, you take acid na, you take, this is the acid, this is the acid and this is the base. So take the acid value, take the another acid value and the average is taken, and it is come to be 3.22. The average of two similar groups we have to take, right? Okay, that is a trick to understand this. And in that you can say glutamic acid 3.22 nikla, and you have alanine, only two groups are there na. So take the two groups and their pKa values, take the average. Got it? Definitely you can expect a questions from this kind of topics, right? Calculation of Pi values. So at this pH, alanine exists as a zwitterion, residual kiste, right? And a lysine is, you see, amino group is there, another amino group is there, carboxylic group is there. So let's take these similar groups and 10.79 and 8.95, इसका एवरेज के हिसाब से आपको 9.87 is the isoelectric point, A plus B by 2. And in that, what is the major criteria? Similar ionizable groups we have to consider. Similar ionizable groups. Are you getting or not? That is the trick. समझ में आ रही क्या? And glutamic acid we discussed, and peptide bond. This is an amino acid, this is another amino acid, and these two amino acids is going to lose its water molecule to gives rise amide linkage between two amino acids is called a peptide bond. Understand? Clear? And classification of proteins. Proteins are the polypeptides. So amino acid with another amino acid, a peptide bond जोड़ी करना है, and dipeptide, tripeptide, tetrapeptide, polypeptide. ये पेप्टाइड में प्रोटीन बनेगा, and various types of proteins, fibrous proteins. When a polypeptide chain run parallel to held together by hydrogen bonding and disulfide bonds, gives like a fiber like structure, generally insoluble. And example, keratin, आपका जो hair, and myosin are the fibrous proteins. And globular proteins, the structure results when the chains of polypeptide coiling करने तो आपको स्पीयर मिलेगा. They are called as globular protein. Example, hemoglobin. Egg albumin, all things comes under this globular proteins. And classification of proteins in that fibrous protein ऐसे दिखते हैं, फाइबर का जैसे. Globular protein coil के जैसे दिखते हैं. Are you getting or not, बच्चों? Very good. And also structure of protein, primary structure of protein are a specific sequence of the amino acids in the protein is called as primary structure. जहाँ पर secondary structure, when the primary structure comes and makes a coil or ribbon like sheets, that is called secondary structure. Alpha helix or beta pleated sheets. So there are two types of structures are there in the secondary structural hierarchy of the protein. And also tertiary structure and the supercoiling of the protein by disulfide bond and hydrogen bonding is called as a tertiary structure. Combination, you see, this is amino acid specific sequence is a primary structure, and this primary structure is going to give a coil like a sheet, that is called alpha helix or beta pleated sheets, and these two are supercoiled to give rise a domain is called a tertiary structure. Combination of these domains is going to give rise a functional protein that is called a quaternary structure. समझ में आ रहा है क्या बेटा? Yeah, perfect. And this is a topic we discussed. अगले क्लास को मैं ये denaturation of proteins and vitamins and nucleic acids and hormones को एक सेशन लगाने की कोशिश करता हूँ. समझे? Any doubt? And hope you like my session. And please like and share with your friends and subscribe to Infinity Learn NEET YouTube channel. Thank you very much. Stay tuned. God bless you. Signing off, Suresh, Faculty of Chemistry from Infinity Learn. Thank you very much.